They say dogs are man's best friend. Unfortunately, here in Baltimore, many of our friends are without a home. Our story begins with Brad and Kim Cahujan. Brad and Kim recently adopted littermates Kit and Kat, two great Pyrenees sisters.
Well, we decided to adopt our current rescue dogs because we had a great experience with our first two adopted dogs that we got from the SPCA around 2007 and 2008. We adored those dogs, and unfortunately, when we adopted them, they were older and not in the best health, and we knew that. We gave them the best years we could, and they passed away within about 6 months of each other. So our house just felt lonely, and my husband was really pushing for dogs. I had just had a baby, so I thought we'd wait a little bit longer, but then he found the two we currently have online, and after I met them, they just broke my heart, and we knew that we had to have them.
The success we had with our previous two rescue adoptions, it was just a bond that we created with those animals. It was not to be too mushy, but it was something I read online that said that there's a special twinkle in a dog's eyes because they know they've been given a second chance. And it was just something that we both wanted again. We wanted to be able to give back again.
Our story continues with Jeff Manthorpe. Jeff has shared his home with Cotton, a rescue from the Baltimore ASPCA, for the past 7 years.
I always knew when it was time for me to get my own dog that I was going to go to, a shelter and get a rescue dog rather than a breeder. I think that mutts are more interesting anyway, When you go in to get a rescue pet, you really just need to find one that you think is going to be suitable for your kind of lifestyle. If I had a high stress dog that wanted to run around and play all the time, wouldn't be the best place for the dog. So it's kind of that, thinking about this dog you're bringing to your house, and if you really are willing to put the time and effort into it, and if that dog's going to appreciate what you're doing.
Pit bulls and pit bull mixes are the most difficult dogs to place in homes due to the stigma associated with the breed. Brooke Forbes and her husband Craig recently adopted Loki, a lab and pit bull mix, who is days away from being euthanized.
Thank you. If you look at the shelters, they're just kind of overrun right now with dogs. So, and sometimes I think those dogs are a little more appreciative of the home that you do give them because, they're kind of stuck in this situation where it's not a happy place. I was kind of leery at first about adopting something that had any kind of pit bull in him, but like I said, after meeting Loki and seeing his temperament, I just thought he's not a bad dog. He's a really cute dog. So I would definitely adopt again. And yeah, I could say if it was the right dog that it could be a pit bull.
Tammy Goshev runs Mid-Atlantic Bully Buddies, a dog rescue organization who specializes in placing pit bulls in homes.
It's a very gray term, and it's something we see a lot. First of all, the term pit bull being not a real breed of dog. A pit bull could be an American Pit Bull Terrier, American Staffordshire Terrier. Breeds of Mastiffs and American Bulldogs often get lumped in there. Dogs like Martin, for instance, someone may have said that's a pit bull, but he looks more like a lab, perhaps. The other thing, too, is that, research shows that a dog's DNA dictates very little of what they actually look like. So just looking at a dog sometimes is not necessarily indicative of what breeds they're mixed with. And so a dog just, because of a label that it gets, therefore eliminates its chance of really making it out of that shelter alive. And it can be a phenomenal dog. And to me, that is something that, really, sort of like a mission of mine is to, I don't ever want to see a fabulous dog dying in a shelter simply because of a label.
That's a nice thing about the deaf dogs.
Professional dog trainer Drew Sandberg specializes in creating good behavior in rescue dogs prior to adoption.
We train rescue dogs to behave well, to listen, to have obedience. The better a rescue dog behaves, the easier it is to be adopted. We have a horrible, situation in this country where just so many dogs are put to sleep just because they don't have homes, but you have so many people buying dogs, and if more people, rescued, then we wouldn't have to put down as many.
Dog adoption is a big decision, but a rewarding one as well. I hope you will consider bringing a new best friend into your home.
It would not be the first time. I have been knocked over.